Before I joined practical law, I was a lawyer for just over 12 years. Spent most of that time working as an in-house lawyer across a variety of different industries, including financial services, travel technology, and cybersecurity. I joined Thomson Reuters because I was sitting at my desk one night working as an in-house lawyer. I think it was about 10 p.m. and I thought there has to be a better way of doing things than this. And I'd spent a lot of time working with practical law. I thought it was a great, amazing product, and I really wanted to be able to bring that to the legal community in Australia. The other reason I joined Thomson Reuters is that I think it's a great company. It's got amazing innovation. They do amazing things with technology, and I really wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be a part of the future of legal technology in Australia. I love many things about practical law, but one of the things I really loved about it when I worked in-house was that it actually lets you work the way that you need to work. So if you need to start at the beginning and have a workflow through, you can go practice note, precedent, through to checklists at the end to make sure that you haven't forgotten anything. The other thing you can do with it is if you just want to grab something. So someone's come to you, you need some really quick advice, you can go to the practice note, quickly upskill and give them some very good commercially viable advice. The other thing you can then do is if HR comes to you on a Friday night at 5 p.m, they want a deed of release because they've just terminated someone, you can dive into practical law, grab your deed of release, draft it up, get it to HR, know it's enforceable, know it will work, and still make the pub by 6 p.m. In-house counsel can rely on practical law, and that was one of the things that I really appreciated when I was working in-house, because I knew that if I went to practical law, it would be up to date. I wasn't about to be caught out by some crazy common law case that I hadn't had time to update on, or there'd been a change to the legislation that I wasn't across. I know it's updated because we have a great team of writers here who go and make sure the content is all up to date and fully maintained. So, as an in-house lawyer, I worked across Asia, I worked across the UK. I was always sitting in airport lounges. I joked they were my second office. The fantastic thing about practical law is I didn't need to VPN in to get access to it. So I could sit there in the lounge, bring it up on my laptop or even my tablet, have access to my folders where I created matters in it, or grab a practice note, send an email on my BlackBerry, grab a precedent, mock it up while I was on the plane, land in Sydney and get the advice out straight away. Practical law helps in-house lawyers because as an in-house lawyer, you are a trusted advisor. You are seen as a single source of truth for the organisation. And your job as an in-house counsel is to manage the risk, but also help the corporation succeed. And practical law gives you really great current resources to do that. So you can actually use practical law as a way to take the legal information that you need, apply your commercial knowledge on top of that, and give the business a really great way of going forward. So one of the things that I always found about being in-house was you didn't have access to the broad range of resources that you might have when you're at a law firm. I wasn't often given the luxury of having a knowledge manager or a librarian. So practical law for me was the best resource I could ask for. It was always there, always current. The practice notes are written in such a way as they were very simple and easy to understand. The precedents were flawless. I found them the best thing that I could use because I knew they were current and up to date. And what I could then do with those documents was apply my knowledge of the corporation on top of it. I could say, here's this great precedent template to start with. I then know what my company's risk appetite is. I know what they're going to want in this document. For the travel technology and cybersecurity, it was particularly around the technical specifications. So I could overlay all my knowledge on top of that and use practical law to really add value to the company that I was working for. Practical law saved the day for me on many occasions, but one that springs to mind is one of the companies I was working for. I had sales come to me very last minute. They'd managed to set up a meeting with a customer that they'd been trying to get a hold of for 8 months. Massive deal. They were really had to have this meeting. Of course, no confidentiality agreement in place, so they wanted to share some really technical detailed information about our systems. Really needed to have that protected. So I went on to practical law, pulled out the confidentiality agreement, quickly marked it up in line with what I knew my organisation would tolerate, and provided it to the sales team within half an hour. And their meeting went ahead, and the day was saved.